Number 5. Sarista. In this video, a mother and daughter are messing around with a game that is said to summon a violent spirit by the name of Sarista, and are filming it for a fun TikTok. All is well until they find out there might have been some truth to this folklore.
Sarita, ¿mi esposo me es infiel? No. A ver, Sarita, ¿Regina tiene novio?
Varios.
Tal vez.
¿Varios?
Tal vez, Regina, ¿qué onda? A ver, tú pregúntale algo, Regina.
Sarita, tengo novio.
Ay, Regina.
Tal vez. Sarita, ¿alguien de la escuela me tiene envidia?
Como por... Ay, Regina, la tiras que sí. ¿La quieres aventar hasta la otra cuadra?
Sarita, ¿alguien de la escuela me tiene envidia? Tal vez.
Tal vez.
¿Qué pasó?
No mames, Regina.
A hand extends around the girl's arm, which sends the mother into a panic, screaming. But what do you guys think? Is it truly dangerous to play this game? You tell me. Number 4. Zork's Scary Haunting. Zork's Scary Haunting on YouTube is a channel documenting one of the creepiest haunting cases I have ever seen. Zork is the father of a family who moved into a new house, and shortly after getting settled in started to experience some very strange and unexplained events. Zork would wake up to bangs and find things in other rooms that had been toppled over and moved even when everyone in the house would be asleep. He decided to purchase some home security cameras to hopefully find out the source of these strange happenings, yet what he found out was far more terrifying. One day, Zork's son is drawing in one of his coloring books when this happens.
Mommy, Jerry's troubling me. Jerry,
There's nothing there.
I can see the book moving. Yeah.
I'll finish this up.
Later on that same night, Zork manages to capture some of the strange sounds that he was describing beforehand on camera.
Daddy, what is it?
Nothing, but I'll just go to sleep now, okay?
Is that Jerry?
I don't know. Just be quiet now.
Hey.
Please, I beg you. Baja, don't go. Listen to me.
It's okay. Just be quiet.
A couple of days later, Zork and his family are awoken to a loud bang coming from their living room, and this is what the security cameras picked up, as well as Zork's point of view. As we can see, a bike falls over all by itself, which wakes him up, which could have all just been a coincidence, as the bike may have been slightly off balance. But what about this chair that slides out of nowhere when nobody else but Zork is in this room? Things seem to have only gotten worse recently, as Zork posted this.
Okay, so last night something creepy happened. Before I show you the video, I just wanted to show you this. Okay, so these are the motion controlled lights. I don't know what exactly it's called, maybe motion sensor lights or something. Now, what actually happened is someone or something was at our main door last night. So I don't know whether you guys call it as a ghost, demon, or poltergeist. I don't know what it is, but it was really annoying. So have a look at the video, guys. You decide. It's not the security. Just be with Munno, okay?
Okay.
It's 140. Who is it? Who is it? Okay.
Now it's known that if a spirit knocks on your door, you are never supposed to open it, as that is inviting something unwanted into your own space. It seems that Zork has done just this, as since this day, the haunting has only become more and more intense.
पूरा सामान गिरा हुआ है. Yeah. इधर भी पूरा कवर गिरा हुआ है. Hello everyone, this is Zork here. So it's been quiet now from past 2 weeks now. There's no sounds, no disturbance, and but yeah, I caught something last night on my security notification. I just have no words. Let me just show you the video itself.
Whatever is in this house has finally decided to show itself in the form of a translucent white shape. Zork, who was terrified after watching this, decided that it was time him and his family discussed moving out. Before they had even reached a decision, this happens.
Please stay outside, please. She just scared me.
Zork and his family have made arrangements to leave this place, but have been forced to stay until they can move. And I will continue on with this story in future videos. But for now, what do you guys think? Is this a real haunting? It certainly seems like it, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Number 3. Out of thin air. User Taralante tells us that he is a doctor in a hospital where many odd things happen on a regular basis that seem to creep out the nurses and nobody can explain them. Terralante says he himself has heard many strange voices in the halls where no patient should have been out, and seen out the corner of his eyes strange shadows. So for the last few weeks he has been trying to capture something on camera which would show that this place is haunted, and he seems to have done just that. If we play the clip in slow motion, for a second we can see what looks like a small girl dressed in a hospital gown with long black hair covering her face. At first glance, this just looks like one of the white trash bins that hospitals generally use. Terralante says that this room was left empty at the time. What makes this even more compelling is what hospital security captured later that same night. Black shape, which also looks like it could be a little girl, materializes from out of one of the walls and disappears completely. Whatever this is, real or not, it looks like this hospital is certainly dealing with something very creepy. Number 2. The bike. A woman is working from home when her bike unexpectedly falls over. This seems like something completely ordinary, which could have been caused by pretty much anything. However, after a few minutes, it falls over once again. At this point, some strange tapping and banging started to sound in her house, and the woman was unable to find the source, so she pulls out her phone to record.
Sitting at my desk, and my bike's fallen over again. That's the second time today, and it's starting to get weird. I don't even dare go down there. There's no one here. There's no one in the fucking house. No doors open, it's just a bike thing. There's no one here, look. Right, so if you keep falling over any sound, fair enough. I don't know, I'm just weirded out because it's the second time. Okay, it's done it again, but look, 3 times the fucking wheel's spinning. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I don't want to be near it. There's no one fucking here. I made a right bang this time. I had my door shut though. Fuck. There's no one here. Look how much it's moved. What? It was right over there. I don't understand. The handlebars are wrapped around the so I've moved it. Moved it into here, into the spare room. Nobody lives in here. I've purposely put, so if you are a freaky bike, then there's no way that you can move me. So hopefully it doesn't get blown over and I'm crazy. But it's just too weird, so I need someone. Seriously now. Everything's shaking. That's the room it's in. Please don't, please, please. I'm terrified. Oh, you didn't. I don't want to do it. Fuck, get me out of here now, get me out of here now! I can't do this anymore, I'm shaking. Right, fuck this. Right, the front door is in front of me to the right and there is nothing happening right now, but I need to get the fuck out of here, so. I don't like this. I'm gonna go to my friend's house. Fuck. Ah, pray for me, pray for me. Ooh. Fuck this house.
After watching these terrifying events unfold, this woman runs to her next door neighbour and asks her to help her inspect her home, and so they do.
Compelled to video this just in case. I'm showing you I'm not crazy. I don't dare. Come back. The plant pot's on still on the floor. I told you, it's smashed. Weird. Please check other things for me because I'm scared. Yeah, there was no one in.
You say it was just like the wall.
Well, the wall to the room where my bike is, I left my bike in there and then it just went mental and I don't know.
Right, okay. But
What?
is this some kind of joke or something? Because this is,
It's just my bike in the bedroom.
yeah, but it's pretty messed up in
What the fuck are you talking about, Seth? Don't mess with me because this is you know how much this has scared me though?
here. Yeah, but seriously, it's not. I don't think
don't
this is
even
how
dare
you
go
left
in.
it. Like,
Oh, this is. Ugh. Why is I'm using? Fuck. Oh, fuck off. Oh no. This is the spare room, Seth. Yeah, I'm moving out. So, anybody want to buy a bike? Let's get out of here, Seth.
This woman has had no previous paranormal encounters until she had bought this bike, which at the very least is very strange. She has since, however, moved houses and no update has been given, so I hope she has escaped whatever was in her previous home. What do you guys think? Was this bike a haunted object and the cause for these strange events? I guess we'll never know. Now let's see what's in store for the last video of today. Hello and thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel further, Please remember to like and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell. And also, follow the social media accounts linked in the bio down below.